Hello, Spider fans. This is Keith Johansson, aka Grandpot on Spider Lovers. Has this ever happened to you? Or have you heard of this happening to a friend? You pull up to a gas pump and go to pop the seat up to get to the gas cap, and all of a sudden the seat doesn't come up, and the cable broke or something, but the mechanism isn't working. Or you got a case of beer in the frunk, and you go to pop the frunk open, and it doesn't open. Again, the cable, for some reason, didn't work. Well, I have a very simple way of fixing this. The important thing to remember about this is you got to do this right now. If you wait until you can't get the seat up or the frunk open, it's too late. So this is a preventive maintenance. What we're going to do is get a couple of cables from a bicycle shifter or brake mechanism. You can get these on Amazon or eBay. And we're going to rig them up to the seat latch and to the frunk latch. It's a very simple project. Like I say, the only important thing is do it now before you need it. There are several panels that are going to have to be removed. If you refer to this picture, I have them labeled. There's the top side panel, there's the mirror, there's the front fascia, and the middle side panel, or what I call the service panel. If you don't know how to remove the panels, there are videos on YouTube, and in fact I have one that does that also. As for materials, get on Amazon or eBay and search for bicycle brake and shifter cables. Hey, there's a whole bunch of them there. They're not expensive. The cables you're looking at now, there's two of them, and each end of the cable has a terminator. There's a large one and a small one. You're going to snip off one or the other depending on your purpose. The way I did mine, I kept the small end on one cable and the large end on the other. To feed the cable through the outer casing, you're going to have to snip off one end. The first cable we're going to do is going to be the seat cable, so we're going to be working on the right side of the Spider. Hey, the panels that will have to be removed are going to be the right mirror, the service panel, and the top side panel. Now, in this picture, you're going to see there's other panels removed, and that's merely because I was doing other things that day. But like I say, the first things you got to do is the mirror, the service panel, and the top side panel. This is a far off view, so we'll get a little bit closer. In this picture, you're going to notice a latch that's going to have a spring attached to it, and it's got a slot in it. You're going to either have to drill a hole through the latch or run the cable through the slot behind the spring. I found putting it behind the spring was easy. The cable that I selected at this time was the one that had the large end to it, or the large terminator. Now, just forward of the latch is going to be a plastic partition. Drill a hole in that partition the size of the cable, not the size of the outer cable, but the inner cable. Okay, feed the inner cable through that small hole, and then take the outer cable and slip it over your cable until it looks just like the picture. Hey, if you step back for a little bit, you can see where I ran the outer cable through another divider. That's about 6 inches in front of the first one. And then it goes out by the brass screw that's used to adjust the headlights, and there's a hole right there. That position is where the cable is actually actuated from, and it will be sitting right under the service cover. Let's take a look at that second partition we have to drill. As you can see, this isn't very technical. Just drill a hole big enough for the outer cable to go through, and just be careful of that hose back there. You don't want to drill a hole in it. This next picture shows the actuating end of the cable going through the hole that's right next to the headlight adjusting screw. Just run it through there. I looped it around. On the end of the cable, I put a terminator so it doesn't frayed, and that's it. It's that easy. So let me show you how it works. So next time your seat doesn't open, just pop off your service cover and pull on the cable, and there you go. Hope you enjoyed this. Okay, now that we've done the seat release, it's time to jump over to the left side of the Spyder and do the frunk release. First thing you're going to have to do is release the frunk, get it open, and there's going to be the two black triangular access panels at the top of the frunk that have to be removed. Then in this order, you're going to need to pop the seat up, remove the left mirror, remove the left middle side panel or service panel, then remove the left top side panel. When you're finished with that, remove the front fascia. The cable end we're going to use is the one on the right side of the picture. That's the one with the large diameter and the small diameter, and this is very important. You've got to make sure you have that type of terminator. What you're looking at now is the lever that actuates the latch for the frunk. It's located at the top of the frunk in the center of the bike. There's a hole and a slot that has to be put into this lever. The purpose of this is we need a way to attach and detach the cable in the event that you have to remove the frunk in the future. I don't have a very good photo of this, but I do have a drawing which is going to be showing next. You do not have to remove this lever to drill the hole. Just get the proper size drill and a hand drill and pop it in there. The slot is going to be a little trickier. I did it with a Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel. When making a slot that's wider than the cutoff wheel, there's a trick. I've taken two of the Dremel cutoff wheels, stacked them together, and put them on the mandrel. It makes for a wider cut, and it's a little more stable. As it states in the drawing, the slot must be a little wider than the inner cable. The hole must be larger than the small diameter of the terminator and smaller than the large diameter of the terminator. And it's extremely important that you put the hole in before you put the slot in there. There's another hole that's going to have to be drilled. If you look where my finger is over to the left, you're going to see a red circle that's on a piece that sticks out. That hole has to be a little larger than the small cable, but not as big as the large outer cable, because the outer cable will butt up against it. Okay, finally you're going to run the cables from the last location we drilled a hole over to the left side, and again go through the left side cover where the brass adjustment screw is for the headlights. And if you notice at the far end of the small cable, there's a little terminator I put on there to keep it from freighting. But also there's a red piece that's at the end of the large cable. What that's for is it keeps the small cable from going too far into the large outer cable, which would end up releasing the small terminator at the other end from the slotted hole. Now, the slotted hole, the trick to that is to put the small cable through the slot and then pull the cable so that the small diameter of the terminator goes in the hole. Okay, then you're going to pull that cable, and just before it starts pulling the latch, get some kind of clamping device like I have. In fact, a electrical connector would work. Just put it on there and crimp it. This will keep the small end of the cable at the latch end from going out of the hole. Okay, this is very important. And now I'm going to show you how it works. Well, I sure hope everyone enjoyed this video, and I hope it keeps you from getting stuck at the wrong time.